Welcome to the Friday edition of Oaklawn Today, the Friday the 13th edition, I should point out. Nancy Holthus joined alongside track announcer Matt Dinnerman. Before we came on air, Matt, you had a few wardrobe malfunctions today, but the fit is good.
The good news about behind the scenes is it's not on camera, so if you didn't say a word, nobody would have known. Yeah, we had a couple of issues with a couple of shirts.
But you look good. That's all that matters.
Well, thank you. I feel like I look like I just came from See's Candy with the white and then the black tie. I'm a big See's Candy guy, California thing.
Love them. The coffee lollipops, the best. Absolute best.
If you can get to See's Candy, you can't beat See's Candy.
That is right.
Also, you just basically guaranteed the fact that if I talk to my parents tonight, my mom will be asking, what the heck happened? That is a 1 to 9
Well,
chance.
Mama Dinnerman should probably know. She should know. It's a fantastic Friday as we come back. No live racing yesterday as we hosted the Broyles Award in our event center, and we are going to see a lot of those representatives from last night in the winner's circle here this afternoon. But first, let's take a look at our weather. It's gorgeous outside. Glad to see that. A fast track, mostly sunny skies, 54 degrees, and winds at 0 miles an hour, which means that flag is standing still. Again, today's Friday the 13th. Ironically, tomorrow, Valentine's Day.
Oh, really?
But I already got my Valentine's gift.
Did you?
The true way, they say the way to a man's heart is his stomach. The way to Nancy's heart is through her stomach. So Paul walks in with fresh guacamole, chips. So, yeah.
That's your Valentine's
Day
gift.
Give me food. I'll take it all day long. I'm an eater.
Well, Nancy, you need to fuel up because it's a long racing week. Well,
it is.
4 days, but, we're going into Monday.
Yeah.
It sort of feels like a Thursday today because we're doing those 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. But happy Valentine's Day.
You too.
It's going to rain tomorrow.
It is. So if you're handicapping, you might want to pay a little more attention to those off-track runners. Let's go ahead and take a look at our news page as we kick off this Friday edition. Top off, congratulations to Christian Torres on being named the Jockeys Guild Jockey of the Week. He had a phenomenal weekend with several stake scores. We do have a Classics carryover going into today's card of $8,426. So Majestic Oops is returning in the American Beauty, coming off of the Breeders' Cup Distaff. We've already seen one horse do well out of that race, being Nitrogen. Saturday, a lot going on tomorrow. Swipe for a chance to win a trip to New Orleans. Also, our Marty Bead Crawl, and Little Miss Curlin is going to test Open Company in the featured Dixie Belle. So again, we'll be here Sunday. Also, we'll be here Monday, live racing and the annual Oaklawn Cap giveaway. You will receive a voucher at the door upon entry, then redeem that voucher after race 4 down in the North End. It's one of our most popular promotions. Ewing, very excited to see this one on the track as he does make his 3-year-old debut in the Ozark. And thank you, Elite Sales and Bloodstock, for sponsoring today's Ring the Bell. We greatly appreciate your support. Talking about Ewing real quick, Matt, owned by a bit of a celebrity who has brought a lot of good, positive attention to our industry.
West Point Thoroughbreds, which is an ownership group. You can buy into many different types of levels of horses, and Griffin Johnson is part of that. He is an influencer who has a 7-figure amount of followers. I don't think it's 8, but I think it's 7, which is a lot.
That's a lot of people watching what you do.
What I respect about him is the fact that he fell in love with the game naturally.
He did.
There's no, if you're an influencer, you're making money off things, but he didn't need to stay into the game. He could have done his little spiel with Sandman when he first bought it, and next thing you know,
but you can really tell he has a passion for the sport.
Exactly.
He wants to get out muck stalls, walk-hots, really just dive into the industry, and he has been such a kind of a blessing to the industry, if you will, because he does produce such a positive light.
Absolutely. And behind the scenes light of sharing to folks because he has access that a lot of people do not have and is able to share his experiences, his thoughts, things that he's learning, and it's opening up exposure to fans and potential new fans.
Yeah, the younger generation that we definitely need in our industry.
I think that there needs to be a little bit of a shift in how marketing is done with racing because of our younger generations and how things are. I've talked about this with plenty of people. It used to be a spectator sport where you could just people were happy decades ago to just come in and watch. Younger generations want to be a part of something, and Griffin is sort of encompassing this whole, I am a part of this business, I am a part of this horse, and to share that with us is exposing our business in a positive light to potential new people. So I think it's great, and like you said, very positive, nice guy. You meet him off the air, he's just like he is on air, very nice guy.
And he's had a really good success because Mark Cassie does train several of his runners. So he is not he's seen the winner's circle a few times. I do want to say, tomorrow is our Mardi Gras bead crawl. Oaklawn has really upped their bead game. It was on point before, but obviously you got the Gaita for Louisiana. You've got the Saints, Who Dat. You've got, I like to think this one is a little Flava Flav.
Look at this thing.
That one's the awesome because it's a beer opener or a bottle opener.
Okay.
That's legit. You've got the crown for the Mardi Gras, and also state your heritage or your pride.
We're very patriotic around
250 years of being a nation. So
Thank you, Ben
going on.
Franklin and founding fathers.
And he's running. I love that. Anytime I see the horse's name, I always think of you. Let's go ahead and get started with our 10-race program. This is for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, a $16,000 starter allowance, and they will contest 6 furlongs in distance. And also, you're going to notice on your program page, Broyles Award special guest, and I had the Holly Rowe on my barn tour this morning.
She did a great job, by the way, yesterday at the award show.
I mean, she sets the bar. She's such a high standard. So honored to meet her. But Matt, we've got a 7-horse field to start things off. Where are you looking?
It's funny because I looked at this first race. I say, wait, are we on the right day? Did I bring the right PPs? There's so much racing, so much to prep for. We are on the right day, luckily. And Antique Silver is my pick in here. Actually, just the third start in about 5.5 weeks. So this gal's this mare has been at the races plenty of times. Fitness is not a problem. Comes off actually a runner-up finish in a stake at Will Rogers. Now, not like a stake here.
Right.
It's a lot easier company down there. I really like this runner's race 3-back for $30,000 where she won that day and got a good trip stocking the pace. And she's projected to, again, I like her in this spot for Chris Hartman, Tyler Bacon, who ended their week last week with 2 wins. And you look at a lot of these runners in here, a bunch of them, as of late, their wins have come against $20,000, $30,000 claimers. So on class, based on that $30,000 win, she fits. The only bad race between those 3 races, she ran in a first-level allowance, too tough for her, wasn't in the right spot. So she's in the right spot here, though.
Carlos Santa Maria has 2 representing his barn. I'm going to look closer to the number 4, being Tiffany Twist. Ramon Vasquez aboard. Does race 3rd off of a minor freshening and is going to shorten back up after facing tougher starter allowance optional $30,000 claimers. That race back in December at the mile came from off the pace to finish still a respectable 3rd. I like the cutback to 6 furlongs today, as the barn does very well when taking away some of that real estate. And the sprint efforts have really found this horse sitting on the pace and making one big run of ground. And we saw last weekend the track playing very fair. It wasn't as much speed bias as we'd seen earlier during the holiday meet.
Which is a great thing.
Yes.
I think every horse player that plays horse races wants a fair track.
Oh,
I've never heard a single person say, I want a biased race course, ever, when you're playing horses.
You know what? That is true. I've never heard that. Moving along to race number 2. This is maiden claiming $12,500 for 3-year-olds and up, and they will contest 3/4 of a mile. Did have several scratches, and also take note, we do have several rider changes throughout the race card. So Matt will give you the full set of changes up on the roof. But Matt, this one is still competitive and just a sprinkling of first-time starters in here.
Yeah, this makes things pretty interesting. Just there's a bunch of different angles here. Horses coming off of layoffs, first-time starters, horses that have inconsistent form. I mean, it's just a hodgepodge of different angles. I took Pencil Bluff in here. There's nobody I'm really enamored with, and I figure, you know what, I'm going to try a runner here that has good pedigree. Things haven't worked out, dropping from maiden 30 to 12.5, but really the key here is that this runner is sprinting for the first time by Nyquist out of a Malibu Moon mare. There's sprint dirt pedigree here, no doubt about it. Took a 2-month break off this last race here. Both runs came on the grass at the fairgrounds. I've seen this before where trainers change everything up. We saw it with Mark Cassie with Top Level last week, a runner that went from turf routing to dirt sprinting, and that's what this runner does. So fitness-wise, I think he'll be fine. I'll take a shot.
I'm going to look to the number 5. That's Irish Whiskey, and do have a rider change to David Cabrera. Sports the most starts in the field. Still looking for the picture, unfortunately, but he is in the money. 4 of 9, just knocking at the door, posting a trio of runner-up efforts. Now, he has run very well here at Oaklawn in his 2 prior starts, both versus tougher, and his numbers, as I like to say, are trending the right way. They are trending towards the winner's circle, and I like the fact this runner can also be competitive on or off the pace. Moving along to race number 3. This is a full, or almost a full field. Got 9 fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Non-winners of 3 races in the live. Claiming price is $40,000, and they will contest 6 furlongs in distance. What do we think, Matt, about race 3?
Well, I think that she's not a joke dropping out of allowance company. That should help. Went a route, too, and gets back to the sprint. This runner, even though she ran a really good race routing last year, I still think as of late her best races have come sprinting, and the class drop is certainly going to help for the Matt Williams barn here. Second start off of freshening here. Last time out, by the way, I don't think she should have lost by 14 lengths. I think by the quarter pole, the rider aboard that day just said, I've had enough, and decided to wrap up on her. So, but nonetheless, she needs a class drop, and this is not a race I have a strong opinion on. But I do think that she'll like getting back to the one turn.
Yeah, certainly just overmatched that go. And I'm never opposed to just drawing a line through a race like it never happened. When they get back against, as we like to say, find their friends, I'm going to concur with Matt that she's not a joke, is definitely headed towards the winner's circle in today's race number 3. Certainly the class relief and shortening back up. Sometimes that is a winning combination. Race number 4, as we take a look, this is the first of its kind at Oaklawn. This is a ratings handicap, 4-year-olds and up at the distance of 6 furlongs. And it's interesting, this one have earned a rating number of 80 to 70. And winner of this race is not considered an allowance victory. So I stole a page from the racing office, but I don't know where I have it. Probably still on my desk somewhere.
Did a
but it was a little.
this paper.
It was a little information about the ratings handicap and what's involved in those specific numbers. So sometimes we did see these first run out at Santa Anita on the West Coast, and it kind of takes. This field looks like maybe a high claimer, a starter allowance. How did you handicap? Did the numbers play anything into your handicapping?
The ratings didn't.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'm just going to say I'm looking at a race regardless of the condition, and just, especially with these horses here. These horses are proven older horses, seasoned vets. A lot of these, they know what their job is.
Yes.
They're all sprinters. I mean, this is a solid allowance race. If you're taking away that ratings condition, you look at the quality, it's a solid allowance race. But I will say about these ratings, they are Aquabase ratings, which, of course, Aquabase, which is our data information, the #1 data information hub in horse racing, is owned by the Jockey Club. These are not Aquabase speed figures. There's 2 separate things. There's Aquabase speed figure, like a buyer that Aquabase has, and then there's ratings, which have been formulated the last few months. And basically, if you have a rating, I'm not sure if it's between 70 and 80 any race of your life, if there's a certain date cutoff. I don't
there's
really
still
know
some
that.
questions, I think, to be answered.
Sure.
So this obviously maybe an experiment in the racing office, but it did did have 2 scratches out of the body, as we saw. But Matt, the first ratings handicap ever at Oaklawn, how'd you see it?
Yeah, let's get to it. I picked Normandy Coast in here. I thought this horse's last race was really good behind a really nice stakes horse, actually 2 of them in Riveted, Tejano Twist. I've watched this horse win from off the pace, which we saw when he won at Keeneland over a sloppy track, but he wasn't too far off. He's going to be close to the pace. I think this horse, second start off a 6-month break for Eddie Keneally. If he runs anywhere close to his last race, he's going to be around, and if he improves, he's definitely going to be around. So he's my pick, and you like him too, Nancy.
I do. Actually sported blinkers last time and was a little closer to the pace. And again, this is another tough and talented field, but I think Normandy Coast certainly does stand to move move forward in this afternoon's event. Race 5 is the start of our $1 Classics Pick 6, and we do have a carryover of just over $8,400 in the pool. We'll see that rise as we do get closer to post, but it is for 3-year-olds and up, claiming price $12,500 for non-winners of 2, and they're going to go pretty quick as they are going to contest just 5.5 furlongs. And we have a full field of 12. That's kind of an interesting configuration, Matt, as that turn comes up really quickly for those outside starters.
Yeah, and that's the key is it's really hard to win from an outside post going 2 turns. Going a sprint, I think 6 furlongs is a little bit easier. With 5.5, 1.5 furlong less to work with, you got to find a good spot before you hit the turn. You don't want to get caught wide. By the way, want to give our best wishes to Alfredo Triana Jr.
Yes.
He suffered a little bit of a tumble at Will Rogers Downs earlier this week, and he's going to be out with, it sounds like, a broken rib and a vertebrae, but he is in good spirits from what I'm hearing, and he will make a full recovery, which is great to hear. But we're thinking of him.
For sure.
It's a tough business. It's a dangerous business.
It is. It's not if you go down, it's when you go down, because it unfortunately is inevitable. So,
and knock on wood, we haven't seen anything around here, and we hope that to continue. But Alfredo, he's going to be off his mounts obviously this week, and we've got some rider changes. But thinking of him, I am going to pick Springtown in here. I picked this horse last time out when he was in for 16.92. Ran a really good race for 20. Lost by a half length, stalked the pace, took the lead in mid-stretch and got caught. This time around in for 12.5. This might be a little bit of a lighter group than what he saw last time. So Mertcon Cantermachi brought a good-sized string here. He's still looking for that first win. He's due, and this horse should get the right trip here. So Springtown is my pick.
Well, the number 5, Sexagenarian, really stands out off the page for me. This one, campaigned by Tom Amos, does get Rafael Bejarano in the irons. Was third as the beaten favorite last go. When taking the drop into today's level, led the field until the top of the lane, just tired a little bit late, still running third. He was also claimed that day. The Amos barn does very well off purchases, and they're going to take the blinkers off that this runner has worn in its 7-race career. And he's also been gelded since his last race as well. I really do like that breeze earlier in the month. 4 furlongs in 48 flat. So Paul is a sexagenarian.
Really?
A person in there, and I did Google this, so I know it's right.
I was going to say,
the definition,
that
octogenarian is a person in their 80s.
Sexagenarian
is a person between 60 and 69 years of age.
Okay, I did not know that.
See?
Sexagenarian.
More than a hat rack, but I did ask Google. So, we'll play like I knew what I was
Google's
doing.
always right. No, not really.
ChatGPT.
And ChatGPT,
yes,
that's more right than
for sure. We're going to take a quick break on this Friday the 13th edition of Oaklawn Today, and we'll be right back.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere, exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Mardi Gras is coming to Oaklawn, and your swipe might just crown you king of the winnings. It's simple. Swipe, enter, and join the parade of prizes in our Mardi Gras giveaway. With double entries on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, plus single entries on Saturdays. Chase the beads, the bets, and the big wins from your swipe to the final Mardi Gras celebration on Saturday, February 14th, where 4 winners will each take home $100 race bet after races 1 through 6. The party rolls on after race 7, where 1 winner will capture the crown, a trip to New Orleans. The parades, the prizes, the party. It's all here at Oaklawn, where Mardi Gras meets winning. So let the good times roll.
Into second with Fibber, but it's Benedetta coming to the finish in the Kaleem Shaw red, white, and blue. And the American Beauty, it is Benedetta.
We did have a few significant losses in the horse racing world. Just yesterday, we saw the passing of Fleet Alex, who is the 2005 Arkansas Derby winner. And also, this one really hits trainer John Shirreffs, who campaigned Giacomo, Zenyatta, and some of the greats, Tiago. So he passed away in his sleep at the age of 80, but still a huge hit.
He was a man of integrity. He
Very
was
much.
a man of gentleness, compassion. He was a very soft-spoken, sweet man. And his whole deal, I was reading an article yesterday, really an amazing horseman, just thinking about what he was able to do and the types of things he did with horses that were very unconventional. He said, you know, the thing about me with my horses is I'll wait on them, but I want them to be physically, mentally, and also physically and mentally in the game, and also conditioning-wise in the game. And I want them, all three of those facets, as close together as I can. And if it means me waiting on horses to get them all as close to 100 as I can. And that was really interesting. I've never heard a trainer say something like that. But he campaigned a lot of very nice racehorses, was known to be very patient. But once they got going good, they stayed good. Just an insurmountable loss to the business, and just a real somber vibe throughout the racing world. You can just feel it just reading tributes. And the same thing, we lost to Fleet Alex as well yesterday, who won the Arkansas Derby. And John Shirreffs, of course, was here for a number of big races, won the Apple Blossom twice. So it was a rough day in horse racing yesterday.
It was, and I love the fact that John was kind of the first trainer that I recall really making a horse accessible to the public. And he did that with Zenyatta. She was stabled when I was stallman at Hollywood Park, and every day, right around 10 o'clock, we would have people at the South Gate waiting to go see her, go to the barn. They would always take her gifts, and John was so generous to allow that to happen. So, yeah, a big loss.
He actually, Mike Smith said that when Zenyatta would win her races, he would tell him, go down the stretch and let everybody see her. And that's, as trainers, if you hear this and you ever are lucky enough to get a superstar, you want to make your horses accessible. And John Shirreffs would literally make it a point for everybody who wanted to meet Zenyatta to be able to get to the backstretch to meet her.
You might not have known the name John Shirreffs, but you did know the name of Zenyatta, and those two very much in our hearts.
He fed her a Guinness every day.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He absolutely did, and she always had cotton in her ears as well.
He was a good man, really.
Very good man. Very well respected across the industry. Let's get back to it. Race number 6 is a non-winners of 3 races. 12.5 is the tag for 4-year-olds and up, and they will go 6 furlongs in distance. Do have a couple of scratches and a rider change as well. But race number 6, this is the start of the late 50-cent pick 5. Matt, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is another race I struggled on a little bit.
I was on the struggle bus a little with this one, too. I didn't get too excited about some of my selections, unfortunately.
Which means probably we'll pick whoever we like to win, and they probably will. One of ours will probably win. That's usually how it works. When we have a strong opinion, they do not run anywhere close to winning, and then you don't have a strong opinion and they win, and you should have just singled them. Exactly. I picked Fifth Avenue. This horse won for 12.5 last time, non-2. This is a 12.5 non-3, so the next logical spot. We're not going to show the workout, but that bullet work on February 6th was very, very good. This horse worked with a workmate outside of the workmate and just toyed with this horse, and Francisco Arrieta was actually aboard that morning, and he did not move a muscle on this horse. So he's working well out of that last race here, and I think he can be controlling speed in this race. So Fifth Avenue looking for back-to-back with him.
Well, Tanner Tracy, his name doesn't come up very often, but when he does, certainly proves to be effective. And I'm going to go with While I. That's the number 10 in this group. Really impressed me last out when making his Oaklawn debut, and that was also his first race outside of Oklahoma-bred runners. So really impressed me stepping up in class, but also stepping up to open company, but did take the drop into the 12.5 level and was claimed by today's connections. Now, the barn excels with new acquisitions, about a 36% clip. So potentially looks to sit off speedy Fifth Avenue, Matt's choice, who breaks to his inside. Sometimes that's even though you take the drop in class, moving into open company, whole different arena.
Absolutely, because you're going from a restricted race to, hey, anybody can run in this race. Good luck to you. You can't I mean, you can drop a horse from, an allowance race to non-2 if they're still eligible, for example, but usually you're not going to see that. You're going to see sort of claiming types that are looking to find their way, broke their maidens for lower levels. But then you go from non-2, this is a non-3, but you go from non-2 to open 12-5, you got horses that won 10, 12 races. That are just hard-knocking lower claims.
For sure. Race number 7, Fillies and Mares, 4 and up. Another 12-5 claimer. This is nominators of 2 since July 13th, and they will go 6 furlongs in distance. Did have a couple scratches in the field, but does allow the 13 Singing Emma to draw into the body.
Singing Emma draws in, leaves us with a field of 10, good-sized field here, and another race in which I just did not have a strong opinion. So
a lot of 12-5 claimers.
They're
today.
hard. They're hard to decipher sometimes.
The meat and taters of our industry, as I like to say.
As Nancy very well likes to put it. Summer of Mischief, I'm going to pick a runner here that I say, well, I don't know who's going to win, but I do know that Summer of Mischief really likes Oaklawn Park.
Yes.
She's never finished off the board in 6 starts. Her last race for 25,000 in against Open 25 was not bad. Showed speed, got tired, held on for 3rd, but the winner, Philly Crystal, ran a hole in the win that day. She came right back to win an allowance race for the Ramirez Rodriguez Barnes. So, okay, I can be forgiving of that last race. Speed figure-wise, she ran an A race, so she needs to run back to that speed figure if you're a speed figures player to win, but she draws a good outside post, figures to be prominent in a race where there's some pace, but they're all 2 are inside, so she can sit a half length off a dueling pace setters if she wants to and then try to run on here. So I like her. She'll be in the firing line early and hope she can stick around late.
Yeah, she's my top selection as well. And Matt said she loves Oaklawn. She's never been off the board in 6 local starts, so she really does take nicely to the Oaklawn surface. Race number 8 is our feature on the Friday afternoon. It is the 43rd running of the American Beauty. It is for fillies and mares 4 and up, and they'll sprint 6 furlongs. Do have a rider change, no scratches, and the American Beauty originally was supposed to be last Friday or Saturday, Matt?
I believe it was originally last Saturday.
Last Saturday. So they brought it back, and it did get enough contestants, so we do have a field of 6. A speedy field of 6 contestants.
I just thought of Wheel of Fortune.
Well, it's because typically the American Beauty, that's the stakes that Miss Arkansas presents the trophy. We didn't run it that day, but she got to present the trophy in the Bayakoa.
Yeah, not bad. She was a couple of stars there. You had Miss Arkansas next to Nitrogen.
Exactly. 2 amazing fillies, yes.
I'm trying to beat Majestic Oops in here. She can run 1 turn. I mean, she ran 3rd in the Grade 1 Ballerina. She obviously, if she runs back to that race, she'll be tough. But I don't think 6 furlongs is like her best distance. I think it's a little short. She's coming off a race in the Breeders' Cup Distaff where she was just totally outmatched. Cross that out. 3 months off. This is a good starting point for her. But she doesn't need to win this race. I think she's a play against in here. Not because she can't win on class or even conditioning. I just don't think she needs to win this, and there are others that have recency. They're pure sprinters. I don't think she's a pure 6 furlong horse. I'm going to take a price in here, Velvet Devil, who was a runner-up in a stake 2 starts ago at Mahoning Valley, a first-level allowance winner at Keeneland. So class-wise, she doesn't quite stack up with others in here, but she cuts back from a route to a sprint. I love that angle. Horses are really fit when they do that. I was on January 10th, so a month between races. That's fine for me. And that was on synthetic as well. Didn't want a route, clearly. That was her first route try. A lot better on dirt, draws a good outside post. I don't think, even though there are nice fillies in here, there's nobody that's unbeatable. So I'm going to take a big swing here with a price.
Well, before I talk about Majestic Oops, there is a line of celebrities waiting to get on the elevator. That's the crew from the Broyles Award, the nominees, the winners, and I just got a wave from Holly Rowe.
I'd love to meet her. She has done fantastic work for ESPN.
Yes,
I was actually listening to her
She's
interviews
the goat.
yesterday. Well, I was listening to her interviews yesterday and trying to learn, how does she ask questions for my own benefit?
Yeah,
because she's somebody to learn from. I didn't notice them because they're in normal clothes tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Last night they were all dressed up. And wonderful awards, by the way, for top assistant football coaches.
Shocker, Indiana. who had a phenomenal season, went home with the award. So tonight is the high school version of the Broyles Award. And I think there's like 32 nominees, somewhere in the 30s.
Good for them.
So that's a lot of accolades in one room. I am going to go with Majestic Oops. Does come out of a race from the Breeders' Cup Distaff. We know the runner-up in that distaff, Nitrogen, came back to victory in her next start. This is last meet's Dig a Diamond winner. Is going to shorten up today. Might need a race under her belt, but I love the fact that Dan says that she's really on her toes. It has been a while since we've seen her in the afternoon. Doesn't think she's going to get too far off of the pace, and today's performance is going to determine whether she stays sprinting or stretches out to route. So
it's a tough division either way.
It is.
She's a good mare, but if you stretch out, you're going up against the Nitrogens, Lacaras of the world. By the way, speaking of them, I just have to note, Lacara Nitrogen projected to be back in the Azari in a few weeks. And also Perfect Shot, who won the Sam Houston Ladies Classic, is setting up to run in the Azari. So you're going to talk about a Grade 1 type of race and a Grade 2 race.
For sure. That's why we always get the top fillies and mares in the country. And by the way, the Apple Blossom this year, a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Distaff. That is awesome. As we look on to race number 9, let's chat Arkansas bred. Fillies and mares 4 and up. Another 12-5 claimer set to go 6 furlongs in distance, and a field of 12 to sit in the pre-closer.
I'm going to take the horse who is named after these lovely beads sitting next to me, Sparkly.
I was wondering. I was like, wait, who's that?
Where are we going here?
Yeah, exactly. Where are you going with this, Matt?
Sparkly comes out of Open Company, non-3 lifetime $15,000 claimers, in against Archie Breds. Theoretically, a little bit of a class drop here. Steve Asmussen claimed this gal off of Michael Roan last year at Oaklawn, and ever since he really got to training her, we have seen her take a few steps forward. She's better than she was last year, where she didn't have great form here. I thought that last race was really respectable in against Open, and she's well spotted, restricted to the Archie Breds today. I'm
going to look to the Brett Calhoun barn. They haven't sent out many runners, still looking for that first score. They team up with the Girl in Red in here. That is the number 8. Does race third off the extended layoff. I really like that handicapping angle. Sometimes it does take 1 or 2 races to really get back to your old form. And she actually returned to state bred runners at the $10,000 level. She was prominent from the bell and just caught late to run third as the betting favorite. And she finished actually less than 3/4 of a length behind Wildwood Queen and Courageous Captain. So she was just right there. I do see her prominent from the bell early again today. And she's also a half to a multiple stakes winner in Bye Bye Jay. So
did not know that.
It's got a little down in the family history a little bit. Race number 10 is our nightcap. Again, Arkansas bred fillies and mares highlighted here. Maiden claiming $40,000. You can purchase one plus tax. 6 furlongs is the distance.
Uncle Sam always taxes.
Yes, they do. They get their share, don't they?
Yeah, I'm looking for some tea to throw in a river somewhere because we're getting taxed a lot. And they were mad about the tax for 3%.
Yes, they were. Yeah. Can you imagine if they were today?
We can't
Holy
do that
cow!
Nowadays.
It's like a third.
Well, you know what? You could still make good money with the Archie Breds, as we know here, Nancy.
Yes,
with
you
our
can.
Good purses, even if you do get taxed a little bit. I am taking a price. Here is my price.
Love it.
Shrimp cookie, number 10. 20 to 1 on the morning line.
I see you, Matt.
So her first race, she routed in a maiden special weight and finished 26 lengths behind, and she ran 4th. That was the most strung out field I think I've ever called in my life. I mean, we went from the winner being at the finish line to the last place finisher maybe at the 3/16 pole.
Oof.
Yeah, it was a strung out group. She ran 4th that day. It was her first start. She's dropping in class to this sprint. I marked her down as a workout horse before she ever ran because she worked with another runner from the Greg Compton barn and outworked that one pretty easily. I like they're putting her in for 40 here. An aggressive move, I think, rather than keeping her a maiden special weight, which maybe she's not quite good enough for that, but she can run, and I think she can sprint. And I think that's what she wants to do. And I remember when I saw her in the first race, I said they're probably running her because this is right before the break. And
right.
this is the only race you can run her in a route, but get a race into her, and then this is the race second time out where she's going to do better. So Shrimp Cookie, I think she's a must-use at a big, big price. I really do.
I like it. I'm going to look just to the inside with the number 9. Red River Storm really showed improvement last out when dropping in for the claim, that being maiden 50, and showed a little early speed and just weakened late to run fourth, was only beaten 3 lengths for the win. Also got Lasix that day and was the betting favorite. Wouldn't be surprised if this runner is the favorite again today, but she is going to also take on a few older runners for the first time in her career. Sometimes that can make a big difference, but with a clean trip, I think looks to be tough. Was forced to steady around the 8th pole. So 10 races on the docket today. And real quickly, Matt, Friday the 13th is a lot of superstition can be involved. We know horsemen can be a little bit superstitious as athletes, as you brought up during your baseball tenure. I said I won't take a $50 bill because it's bad luck at the racetrack. Anything else?
Okay.
The ladders, the mirrors, all that kind of stuff.
I try not to take out umbrellas inside.
Oh, that's a good one.
Do that.
That's a good one.
I was thinking about my wardrobe issues this morning, and now Friday the 13th, Nancy, are you kidding me?
That's it. That's why.
That's why.
That's exactly
now,
why.
Now we have the answer to why the universe is acting this way. And then tomorrow, Mother Nature is going to, she must not have a Valentine because it's going to rain tomorrow.
She can have some of my guac and chips.
There you go.
Let's go ahead
Be
and
my Valentine, Mother Nature. I don't have one either right now anyway. So
you still got time.
It could change.
You still got time,
hours.
man.
We got 24 hours.
Let's take a look at our $20 show bet bonus, our long shot and our top pick. Matt's going to start in race number 3. She's not a joke. Goes to Normandy Coast, 5th Avenue, and Sparkly. I'm going to go with the 6th race while I go to 7, 9, and 10. My long shot of the day. Hoping I get a little bit of a price here in the opener with Tiffany Twist. And Matt, we bookend as he goes with Shrimp Cookie in the finale. Top pick sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Matt's going to go Normandy Coast in the 4th. I'm one race later with Sexagenarian in race number 5. A lot going on this weekend. Don't forget, come out. Lots of beads will be given away. You just have to make a purchase at one of our concessions to get these fabulous beads. Giving away a trip to Mardi Gras. Lots going on. And you know what's so funny? This just made me think of it. Have you seen the Olympics, how the medals are falling off the ribbon?
No.
That's like a big thing. I don't know what kind of ribbon
What's
they use.
happening?
The medals, like
they had 4 years to figure this out.
Yeah, right. Well, they're holding them up and they're detaching from the ribbon, and like multiple ones. So that's interesting. Are you watching any of the Winter Olympics?
I am.
I love
like
the Winter Olympics.
I love the Olympics, and I love the sledding where they lie down and they go around.
The luge.
The
Like we were watching the skeleton last night. They got up to 72 miles an hour. That's insane.
Yeah.
And the speed skaters get up to like 35 miles an hour. I'm like, they're going as fast as a thoroughbred.
I was like, I'll just sit here on the couch with my blanket and stay warm, going 0 miles an hour, and they can go 72 miles an hour. It is a thrill to watch. I can't imagine what it is to actually be on one of those.
That's
things.
a hard pass for me. If you could compete in any Winter Olympic sport, what would it be?
I'd say curling, just because it's so interesting. Like, I would love to be on the ice.
Scrub.
Yeah, that'd be sort of
that.
fun. But if it wasn't curling, it would be probably the sledding, skiing down the hill.
The luge.
Yeah,
or the bobsled.
The bobsled.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to be an adrenaline thrill. The older I get, the less adrenaline I have the desire. But yeah, I so enjoy watching them, and we've got an amazing contingent of athletes representing us.
It's incredible watching them, and as you mentioned, representing us. So it's always fun. The Olympics every 4 years, something special. And I do like the Summer Olympics. I like watching the diving in the Summer Olympics. I love them jumping off the board.
Again, adrenaline.
Yeah.
One thing I think they should make an Olympic sport, I know they do it in the kind of the Nordic countries, is I think it's called skijoring, where they ski behind a horse pulling them.
Okay.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Wow.
I would do that.
It's sort of like with the Huskies but with horses.
Yeah, you're literally skiing behind a horse pulling you.
And they don't,
around a track.
That's
like
pretty
multiple
cool.
people. So imagine, it's pretty cool.
They can make a sport out of anything.
They
these
can.
days.
Yeah. I like watching the the snowboarding as well.
Fun.
4 flips, 6 flips in the air coming down.
Shaun White was there watching it.
I saw that. The tomato. Didn't they call him the tomato?
I think so.
The flying tomato.
With the red hair.
Yes, the flying tomato. Well, we will stop talking now because we're just a few minutes away from first post. Matt's going to go to the roof to give you the full set of changes on the Friday the 13th card. For Matt Dinnerman, I am Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.